Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Local Republican lawmakers joined with energy stakeholders to discuss the Climate and Community Investment Act. The group spoke out against the plan and warned that the law will increase gas and home heating prices for consumers. Big Fox does have a team out there, and they join us from Corning and highlight the top concerns for the group.
Good evening, Harriet. The CCIA aims to phase out all fossil fuel use in the coming decades. However, local lawmakers argue it will come at a massive cost to residents in the area. Today, Republican lawmakers and business reps met in Corning to talk about the Climate and Community Investment Act. The CCIA sets one of the most aggressive climate goals in the U.S., putting the state on track to move away from all fossil fuels by 2050. However, state Republicans and the Business Council say it will come at a cost.
The taxes and fees on these things is going to, as you see by our boards here, increase the cost of gasoline by an additional 55 cents a gallon. It's also estimated to increase the cost of home heating fuels by 26%.
Assemblyman Phil Palmisano argues the bill would eliminate reliable sources of energy used by New Yorkers to heat their homes.
Our energy portfolio needs to be diversified, just like your 401k. That's why wind, solar, hydro should be a part of our energy portfolio, but so should nuclear and natural gas.
Supporters of the legislation argue the bill would not increase gas prices and that there are provisions in the bill that would provide a rebate for New Yorkers making less than $77,000 a year. However, Palmisano argues that shows the bill will have a cost on New Yorkers.
They acknowledge that this is going to have a negative impact and could have a negative impact on individuals, families, and businesses.
Senator Tom O'Mara says he supports the efforts to lower emissions in the state. However, he believes the cost-benefit analysis needs to be done before moving forward with the CCIA.
We stand in pushing forward on this goal to cleaner environment, lowering emissions from our power productions, but it has to be done in the context of reality.
Matt Kleinden's Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
A Painted Post couple is in custody tonight, facing a range of manslaughter and drug-related charges. Joshua Lewis and Samantha Bonham are accused of recklessly causing the death of a 2-month-old baby and selling drugs. It is unclear at this time what relationship the baby had with the couple. Lewis was previously arrested in May for child abduction after taking a 5-year-old child away from a foster care caseworker in Corning. Both Lewis and Bonham are in Steuben County Jail pending a bail hearing. New cases are down nationwide, but in some areas a new surge could be just around the corner, with cases and hospitalization both spiking. Jonathan Suri has more from Atlanta.
This is really a critical moment in the pandemic.
Fears of a 5th nationwide COVID surge are growing. New cases are now spiking in at least 19 states, and hospitalizations are hitting pandemic records in many areas, including Minnesota, where non-essential surgeries are being delayed and healthcare providers are struggling to find beds for new COVID patients.
And I keep thinking we got to be at the peak here soon, and we're going to turn down, but we're not.
Colorado, California, and New Mexico are now offering booster shots to all adults, despite FDA guidelines recommending boosters only for those over 65 or at high risk. Officials say the move is justified by the fast spread of the Delta variant, and they're now making a big push to get folks to roll up their sleeves again.
Everybody can get the booster. Everybody should get the booster. Please, if you got the vaccine 6 months or more ago, get your booster.
Meanwhile, the battle over vaccine mandates is heating up again, a federal appeals court refusing to lift a stay on President Biden's vaccine mandate for businesses with more than 100 workers. But the administration says it expects the courts to eventually give the green light because they claim precedent is on their side.
We've had requirements in various settings in our country since the founding of the United States of America, including in schools since the 1800s, workplaces like hospitals have had requirements for vaccines for years.
At least 27 states have now filed legal challenges to the nationwide mandate. In Atlanta, Jonathan Siri, Fox News.
Attorneys in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial have just one last chance to address the jurors before deliberations begin. The city of Kenosha, though, is preparing for potential unrest once a verdict is read. Alexis McAdams has more.
Kyle Rittenhouse's fate will soon be in the hands of a dozen jurors.
A copy of draft number 3 of the proposed instructions.
The 2-week trial continues with closing arguments today. Each side has 2.5 hours to give their final word. Then names will be drawn to decide which 12 jurors will deliberate. The others will be dismissed. Jurors will decide whether Rittenhouse was a vigilante or was acting in self-defense when he shot 3 men, killing 2 in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. The judge allowing the jury to consider some lesser charges.
If the barrel length is less than 60 inches or an overall length less than 26 inches, then I'll deny the motion. If it does not meet those specifications, then this defense motion will be granted. Count 6 is dismissed.
According to legal experts, that decision could help secure a conviction, but it would also mean that Rittenhouse would not face a life sentence. Rittenhouse's mom says she's optimistic about the outcome of this case.
A lot of people out there wants my son to be guilty. It's in the hands of the jury. They've been taking notes, listening to the truth.
Businesses here in Kenosha anxiously awaiting a verdict. The governor has hundreds of National Guard troops on standby in preparation for any unrest.
I think they're probably a little more prepared for it this time. Before, it just came out of nowhere. Boom, things went left real quick.
The National Guardsmen on standby if needed. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, Alexis McAdams, Fox News.
Police in New York City are looking for someone they say has a habit of getting a little too close to nature. The NYPD released these photos of a woman they say trespassed near the lion exhibit at the Bronx Zoo. She was charged for doing the exact same thing 2 years ago. Separate cell phone video of the more recent incident shows the woman talking to a lion, throwing money, and holding roses. A spokesman for the zoo says the woman is determined to harass the lions with no regard for her safety. Police are looking for her. Today marked the first day of leaf pickup for residents in Elmira. The city is reminding residents to rake their leaves between the curb and sidewalk for cleanup crews to pick up your leaves. Residents are also asked to keep streets clear of leaves so that they don't clog storm drains. Residents can also take their leaves to the Elmira Compost Center for disposal. Leaf pickups will go on through December 23rd. Still ahead tonight, hospitals struggling to find enough space in their ICUs to treat COVID-19 patients.
Our small little hospital yesterday got a call from Hibbing trying to take a patient from their hospital because they didn't have any beds.
An inside look at how some rural hospitals in some parts of the country are being hit especially hard by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Tonight's Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. We still have the chances of snow for tonight, maybe even a few flurries early tomorrow morning before sunshine wins out in the afternoon. On Wednesday and Thursday, as high pressure builds in, I'm expecting a little bit warmer conditions, and then another system will be driving in by the end of the week. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But for your Wednesday, we are expecting cool conditions, but we are expecting a little bit more southerly flow, and so that's going to bring a little bit warmer conditions for your Wednesday and Thursday as high pressure starts to build into the region. But again, it is going to be very close to a normal temperature starting off in the 30s. 45 degrees are high on Tuesday, and then we drop down into the 20s overnight. In fact, we'll be below freezing right after 6 o'clock in the evening. So it is going to be a very cold day, but we are expecting it to be not quite as cold as we head into your Wednesday and Thursday. But we have another system coming in for the end of the week, and it is going to push some rain, possibly even some snow toward our area on Thursday night into early Friday. And then as this low moves to the east, it will drive colder air right over into the Twin Tiers. So we are expecting a little bit colder conditions for the end of the week. But for tonight, we are expecting a few showers, snow showers that is, that will continue to linger into the early morning hours. Maybe just a flurry here and there as you wake up tomorrow morning, but most of this will be gone in the afternoon. And then I think that's when we're going to see some sunshine. A quiet day on Wednesday. In fact, clouds will start to really thicken up at around 6 o'clock in the evening or in the morning, and then giving way to a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon. There could be some sprinkles here and there, but overall I don't think we're going to see really any measurable rain. But then here comes our next storm system. There could be a few showers during the day on Thursday, and it looks like as those temperatures dive down to below freezing Thursday night into early Friday, this could be switching over to some snow. So our winter weather looks like it's just starting to rev up. Tonight, temperatures dropping down to around 32 degrees in Corning and also in Elmira, so we're going to be right at freezing as we start off your Tuesday. Highs tomorrow around 45 degrees in Corning and 47 degrees in Watkins Glen. Your 7-day forecast calls for a warming trend. 60 degrees are high on Thursday, but we are expecting a few showers and possibly some snow late Thursday into early Friday. Cooler air starts to settle back in. Highs will only be in the 40s and overnight lows will tumble down into the 20s. More chances of rain for the weekend.
Gas prices hit record highs in California. Megan Healy has more on what's driving the prices skyward.
In just 2 days, the state average for a gallon of gas has jumped several cents. At this gas station in Midtown off Pacific Highway, reporting more than $5 if you pay credit for a gallon of regular gas. And if you can believe it, these are not even some of the most expensive prices we've seen here in San Diego County.
This is crazy.
That's the reaction many drivers have when they see California's gas prices. According to AAA, gas in California cost $4.68 a gallon on average Sunday, setting the state's highest recorded average price for regular gasoline.
To put that into perspective, people who drive the typical mid-size sedan with a 14-gallon size fuel tank, they're paying $21 more to fill up that tank of gas today than 1 year ago.
Out-of-state visitors are also experiencing a bit of sticker shock.
The prices are really high here. We came from Vegas, and in Vegas it's much cheaper. So I don't know, but I guess we have no choice anyway.
Experts say there are a number of factors causing the increase.
Crude oil prices remain extremely high as a result of the demand for fuel. This is a very different fall season where typically we see the prices at the pump move lower after Labor Day weekend because families have wrapped up their summer road trips, kids are back in school. But this fall has been different in the sense that people are still traveling.
The national average is more than $1 less than the state's. It's dropped slightly to $3.41 for a gallon of regular gas. In San Diego County, gas prices remained below the highest recorded average for the region, costing drivers on Sunday a local average of $4.63.
So expensive no matter where you are in California.
Maintaining your vehicle and removing storage can increase fuel efficiency.
The heavier the vehicle is, the more you're paying to drive it around. Adjust your driving habits, avoid those jackrabbit starts, and obey the speed limit, not just for safety, but the faster the vehicle is moving, the more fuel you're burning.
Others are thinking of going electric.
It seems arbitrary, so I think less gas and more electric cars.
The big question is, when are these prices going to decrease? And experts still don't know, but they do predict that they will continue to go up through the holiday season. And AAA predicts that millions of people are going to travel and take road trips for the Thanksgiving holiday despite these high prices.
Rural hospitals in some parts of the country have been hit especially hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. In Itasca County, Minnesota, hospitals are still struggling to find enough space to treat COVID-19 patients as well as other critically ill people. Courtney Godfrey has more.
No beds available. That's the reality in Itasca County, where COVID-19 cases have been climbing since August. With the current surge matching the peak set last November, public health officials there are begging the public to take precautions. But it's not just there. Statewide, the health system is undergoing an extreme stress test.
And I keep thinking we got to be at the peak here soon and we're going to turn down, but we're not.
Dr. Ulrika Weigert is a family medicine doctor in Sauk Center, where they're getting calls daily from hospitals they previously never would have heard from, looking to see if they can take patients.
Our small little hospital yesterday got a call from Hibbing trying to take a patient from their hospital because they didn't have any beds.
And they too are making those calls. Last weekend, they had to intubate a patient, something they normally don't do, after failing to immediately find them a bed at a bigger hospital.
We tried from Grand Forks down to Sioux Falls, Fargo, Duluth, Mayo, all the city's hospitals. There were no ICU beds available at all across the state to take this patient for many hours.
And it's not just COVID patients who can't get a bed. It's a lot of other critical patients as well, as these healthcare professionals beg for their neighbors to take precautions with the strain taking its toll.
We are all taking care of patients that are much sicker than we normally would take care of, and it is getting really, really hard.
If you're not waiting for Black Friday or Cyber Monday to check off your list this holiday, we've got the toys already trending this season. Plus, a look at how shipping and supply concerns are impacting the toy industry, and a few tips for early shoppers. Here's Ashley Dvorkin.
Holiday shopping has begun, and for those perusing the toy section, editor-in-chief of the Toy Insider, Ali Merjeski, shares what's trending, starting with those going viral.
One of the biggest stars of social media is the Cats versus Pickles. So we have these cute little collectibles.
Let's check Blue's heartbeat.
So when I grew up, toys are all about kids being aspirational. So this is a lot of hometown heroes. It's also any kind of job that they can have. So one of my favorites this year is the Blue's Clues and You Checkup Time Blue from Just Play.
Educational toys are popular.
A great option for a gift this year is a subscription to ABC Mouse. It's this learning portal that kids can go through and play different games.
There's also Family Game Night.
What Do You Mean Family Edition? This is SpongeBob Edition.
And there's a trend they call In My Feelings.
This is a lot of toys that are focusing on social emotional learning.
Shipping delays and supply shortages are affecting the toy industry and prices.
Consumers should go in already expecting to spend a few more dollars with some price increases because of the manufacturing prices increasing.
One tip, watch where you shop.
With the price hikes going up anyway, you're also going to see an uptick in a lot of third-party sellers that are selling them for way too much money.
And it may pay to go pick up those gifts versus going online.
You don't have to navigate around those delivery dates. This year, of course, too, with the labor shortages. But also we talked to some toy manufacturers and they're expecting that the stocks in store are actually better than the stock online.
IKEA wants to help your old furniture land in a fulfilling place. Rather than a landfill, the company will offer a new turn-in program. IKEA will now take your gently used IKEA furniture with a buyback and resale program and give you store credits for your upgrades. The idea is to help keep still usable furniture from clogging landfills and make it productive through resale, saving you the effort. The program is available at 30 IKEA locations around the country through December 5th. You have to join the IKEA Family Loyalty Program to take part. Not all IKEA furniture can be a buyback, so check with the company's website for details. Southwest Airlines will be offering incentives to staff, hoping to avoid further travel disruptions during the upcoming holiday season. According to a note sent to Southwest employees, flight attendants, pilots, and other operations staff could get up to 120,000 Rapid Rewards points, which has a price value of more than $1,400. To become eligible, flight attendants must work 36 days between November 15th and January 14th, while cabin crews that work 28 days over the same period could receive 60,000 points. Around the Columbus Day holiday weekend, Southwest canceled more than 2,000 flights, costing them $75 million. The semiconductor shortage is having a chilling effect at GM. The automaker says it's removing the heated seat option from several 2022 models to help conserve its supply of semiconductor chips for more critical components. That will increase the number of complete vehicles it is able to produce. The Chevrolet Colorado, Blazer, and Silverado, along with the GMC Canyon, Terrain, and Sierra are among the affected vehicles. The luxury Silverado and Traverse High Country and GMC Sierra and Acadia Denali will still offer heated seats. According to a recent survey by Auto Pacific, heated seats are the most wanted feature among car buyers. 60% say they are a must-have. Parents, do your kids know the basic food groups and where this comes from? A new study suggests they might be kind of confused. The study published in the Journal of Environmental Psychology says kids may not have enough knowledge about animal-based and plant-based foods. 176 kids from ages 4 to 7 tried to identify food origins, and 41% of the kids thought bacon comes from a plant. French fries were really misidentified, with over 46% thinking they come from animals. A third thought chicken nuggets were from plants. Most 6- and 7-year-olds said chicken, cows, and pigs are not okay to eat. The findings could relate to the growing amount of plant-based and impossible meat options. We want to leave you with a smile tonight, and maybe a few laughs too. Betty White is set to turn 100 years old on January 17th. Her career has spanned more than 8 decades. And to celebrate her birthday, Choice Mutual is offering to pay one fan $1,000 to watch 10 hours of Betty White highlights. The winner will also get a DVD player and a selection of Betty White DVDs. They'll have to binge watch the 10 hours over a 24-hour period and document their favorite moments on social media. The deadline to enter is next Monday. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.